The original R8 of 2006 was a defining car for Audi, proof that a mainstream manufacturer could build a supercar to take on the world's best. And now there's a new R8, although at first glance you might not realise it because, like the A3, the A4, the A6, the TT or pretty much any other Audi you care to mention, this looks almost identical to its predecessor. Mind you, in the case of the R8 I think we can call that an observation rather than a complaint. What that means is that you still get a small boot under the front where you can keep spare underwear for when you scare yourself silly, while at the back you'll find that Audi has filled the space with a great big engine. To be precise, it's a 5.2 litre naturally aspirated V10 mounted in the middle of the car for optimum weight distribution. As standard, it produces 540 horsepower, but today we're testing the R8 Plus, as in plus 70 horsepower. That's right, this is an Audi with 610 horsepower. Being an Audi, and one with a six-figure price tag at that, interior quality is sublime. It feels spacious in here too. There's storage options here behind the seats. You get a couple of cup holders in here, you get a big glove box and another compartment here where you can keep phones and the like. The R8 also uses Audi's virtual cockpit display, which places the infotainment screen within the instrument cluster. It sounds complicated but actually works very well. Plus it looks terrific. It might look much like the old R8, but this in fact uses a new platform complete with lots of carbon fibre. It's shared, like the engine and the four-wheel drive transmission, with the Lamborghini Huracan, and that means that it covers ground like a low-flying missile. You get a 7-speed dual-clutch gearbox as standard, and it changes gears so quickly and so crisply that you don't really miss having a manual. And this engine is a masterpiece, pulling from low revs and going all the way past 8,000 RPM. Just sounds absolutely awesome. This is proper spine-tingling stuff, giving the R8 the feel of a true supercar. It's got the performance too. This Plus model gets from 0 to 60 in 3.2 seconds and tops out at 205 miles per hour. It's got so much grip and traction too that you just keep leaning on it and leaning on it until you think your head's going to pop. And yet at the same time it feels agile and adjustable. It really is a class act. The steering is perhaps a fraction light, but to be honest, it's so predictable and so quick that I don't really mind. I should also say that the R8 rides really well for a supercar, and in fact, aside from some slightly restricted rear visibility, it's an easy car to drive in town. What I really want to show you though is what kickdown feels like, which from 40 miles an hour is a bit like this. This is definitely a car that will put a smile on your face, whether you're using it every day, which you genuinely could, or if it's tucked up in the garage for those weekend blasts. It's not, though, completely fault-free. In particular, Audi's warranty only covers the car for the first 3 years and 60,000 miles, whereas Porsche and McLaren offer unlimited mileage cover. Lamborghini, meanwhile, covers the Huracan for as many miles as you can do in 4 years. Fuel economy isn't great either, even at the official test figure of 23 miles per gallon, let alone the 16.5 we've been getting during our hoon. I mean, test, obviously. Ultimately though, you don't buy a car like this because it's frugal, you buy it because it's exciting and it's sexy and it makes you feel special every time you drive it. And in that sense, you have to conclude that Audi has smashed this one right out of the park.